Alrighty. Okay. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So before we kick off our session today, I just wanted to have a little chat with you guys about what's happening in here and how this group will be evolving. And then we'll dive into our session that I have planned for us. But this is coming, the official 6-week container that I began with this in mind when I created this program is coming to an end soon. But what I wanted to share with you guys is that I've decided, as I sort of prefaced from the beginning, I've decided that I will turn Sacred Fire Initiation into an ongoing membership. So you guys will be grandfathered in and won't be having any monthly membership fees to stay here as my gift to you and my thanks to you for trusting me with this new content. But what my vision is that this container will, like I've said, will form all of the different mindset, energetic, and leadership processes like a library, essentially. So moving on, there will be new people joining. Please make them feel welcome, as I know that you will. There'll be people coming and people going, just as, you know, as things change and shift and evolve. And the way the schedule will run is that we'll have one live call once a month, and there will be 3 processes uploaded once a week, like once a month. So 3 weeks, there'll be a process. 1 week, there'll be a live call. I haven't yet decided what day or time that will actually be the monthly call, but I will be getting the timetable created for that. We'll also be having guest experts come in. So some months there'll be a call with me. Some months there'll be a call with someone specializing in a particular topic, you know, that I deem to be useful and important for you all. If you have any topics that you would like to explore more, then definitely let me know. What we're going to do next, and there will probably be a few weeks off the calls just as we kick into the summit next week. And then how's the timeline? Then we've got Light Leaders Ignition, which is my business coaching program, which Lyndall, you're going to be doing with that with me and a few others, potentially Donna as well. Maya, feel free if you wanted any business support to check in. And then, so yeah, it'll probably be sometime in early April that we will kick off the membership officially. But we're going to be kicking it off with an intensive on money mindset. That'll probably go for about 6 weeks in and of itself. So there will be videos and processes and then a call as well. So get excited for that, because this work is really powerful and freaking important. If you haven't done any work on money mindset and you're in business, you got a little bit of work to do there. You probably know that, but you probably have done some work on money mindset, just because you will notice that it comes up all the time in our pricing, in our marketing, in everything, right? So we're going to be exploring that from around early to mid-April, which is really exciting. I'll be taking you through all of the processes that I learned when I studied the Tapping into Wealth coaching certification with Margaret Lynch. Is anyone familiar with her work?
No.
No. Okay. She is amazing. She's who I learned tapping with, and her tapping processes are phenomenal. They're really, really awesome. So I learned with her a full 3-month coaching series that is centered around, you know, wealth mindset, working through financial traumas, working through goal traumas, working through, you know, like the stuff that comes up when we set financial goals, which is one of the big things that I've noticed, one of the big areas that a lot of women in business in particular struggle with. And I'll raise my hand there and say that I still, you know, I can still get better with setting goals, because we can have like, well, I don't want to set a goal because what happens if I don't reach the goal, like all the times in the past. So I call this goal trauma. I think you may have done this with me, this particular process, Maya. I could be wrong. But we're going to be revisiting that and bringing in some hypnotherapy with it as well. So that's going to be really exciting. It's going to be, for people that are joining, it will be kicking off at $222 US a month. So if you know anyone who you think would be a good fit for this program, then please let me know. I will pay a 10% commission. So if that's an ongoing payment, then it will be an ongoing commission to you. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much all I want to say. So I just wanted to flag that for you guys, that we'll be having a few weeks where things will be dying down, and then we'll be kicking it off again with the money mindset, the tapping into wealth processes. So get excited about that, because that's going to be really awesome. Okay. Any questions about what I just said?
No,
pretty clear?
Excited. Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure. Yeah, it's like the gift that keeps on giving. Okay, cool. So what I wanted to delve into today is a really powerful process that I don't think I did with you, Maya. I don't think I've done this with any of you, but it's one of the core processes that I love to do with my one-on-one clients, just because it's so important. Okay, so we're going to be delving into some inner saboteur clearing. Okay, which is always, inner saboteur work is always so important. And there will be different layers of inner saboteur work that we can do. So I'm a big fan of doing parts work. And I do a lot of parts work, particularly with my one-on-ones, because when I'm in a one-on-one container, we can be very intentional, and it becomes very apparent very quickly what parts of the subconscious are playing out. So, for example, the inner child is a part, right? A part of us. The inner saboteur. I love to, but when we talk about parts, I love to capture the type of part that is speaking. And a really great way to do that, if you're feeling like you're in a bit of a energetic funk or a mindset funk, it's like the mindset wobbles are starting to kick in. That may be you today. A really great thing to do is to kind of close your eyes and get really quiet and ask yourself, like, what's the emotion that is strongest within me right now? So it might be frustration, right? So let's work with frustration as an example. There's a fabulous journaling process, which I can share with you, which is coming through quite strongly now, which I will share with you before we delve into this session. And so first of all, you've got to understand the part that is expressing itself. So this might be frustration, right? Now, I like to personify them. So I might give this frustrated part of me a name, say frustrated Frankie. So frustrated Frankie is here today. Frustrated Frankie has made herself very, very known, right? This is how I would work with this part. Frustrated Frankie is here. I'm going to be giving frustrated Frankie an opportunity to speak and to share with me what's happening and why she's so active today. So this might be either done in a journaling process, or you can simply like talk this out. And the whole idea is that it's, instead of suppressing these different parts of us, which is what we do, I'm feeling really frustrated, but I've got lots of shit to do. So I'm just going to push that down and I'm going to continue to move forward, which we know doesn't necessarily work long-term, right? That part's just going to rear its head again. So we need to give it an opportunity to speak and to vocalize. And then there can be a series of questions that you might like to journal about. And one of the most powerful questions is, what are you trying to keep Tash safe from? What are you trying to keep me safe from? And when you get to the core of that, what is driving that part, and it's typically, it is a part of you that's trying to keep you safe, but using outdated methods, using a method that might have been appropriate 20 years ago or 15 years ago. And in many cases, that part's consciousness might actually be living in that version of you 20 years ago or 15 years ago or 30 years ago, however old. When we can uncover the answer to that question, then it will typically shift the focus, right? So it's like these parts within us, they need to feel heard, they want to feel validated, and they want to, it's like this recognition, I'm actually trying to keep you safe, right? So uncovering that question, the answer to that question is very powerful. What I'm going to do is upload this particular process that I have. I'll upload it into the group so that you can go and, Owen, please get the baby. Sorry, 1 minute. sorry about that. Okay. Directed them to go outside and stay outside until 11:30. I don't have a lock on that door, so you can just pull it right open. Yeah, so I felt really cool to share that with you as we start to delve into parts work. Is there anyone that's had like a particular emotion or a particular part that you can recognize rear its head, say, over the last week? Anyone at all? Yes, go for it, Donna. I was looking at you.
I think overwhelm. Like Friday,
Overwhelm.
Friday I felt like I don't know what direction I'm going in. I did my live, and then I have all these ideas, and then I get overwhelmed, and then I do nothing.
Yeah.
But I've got some big family stuff going on at the moment with my 10-year-old boy, getting him to school every day. So every morning I'm starting in this funk and trying to be there for him. It's been really, really hard. I had the worst day yesterday. So then I just go, I don't get anything done, and I just get overwhelmed with everything on my plate. Yeah. And then I get frustrated that I'm not moving forward. I'm not where I want to be in the business. And so
who can resonate with that? Overwhelm is huge, right? And obviously there's external situations and external players that impact our state of overwhelm for sure, but also it can sometimes be a sabotage pattern as well. So where we can, for example, stack, and this is what I, as a high achiever, can stack my plate full of lots and lots and lots of different things just because I think I can do a lot of things. And then, I'm overwhelmed and I can't do any of it, right? So it's important to understand your personal patterning with overwhelm. And sometimes it can be, when we're like on the precipice of a big up level in business, life stuff will start happening. It just happens this way. It will start happening. And often there'll be family members. Things will start to happen with family members, whether it's a relationship breakdown or an illness, right? This seems to happen all the time as well. Like, big up level, kid gets sick, right? Or something that happens. And it's just, I'm at the point now where I almost anticipate that it's going to happen. And when it does happen, okay, I go, okay, there it is. All right, I see it. Okay, I'm not going to let it. I know my state of resistance patterning so well now that I can mitigate it, so to speak. But it's important to understand how this shows up for you. So what's your personal pattern of overwhelm? What do you see kind of occurring over and over in your system? Donna?
I think I'm a bit the same. Like I feel like I'm always holding space to everybody. So I'm like, I'm stacking. And then and I think it is a bit of sabotage too. Definitely. I know that I do self-sabotage, but I have been up leveling lately. So I can really relate to what you're saying. Yeah. It's like one, the car's mucking up and then getting Benji to school, and it's like all these things, and it's like, So, I can really relate to that I'm a bit of a stacker as well. And then I get to the point where I'm just like, it's all too much. And then I just get nothing done, and the whole day's gone, and I'm like, what have I done?
Yeah. I can see Maya and Lyndall nodding their heads. Probably relate to that. A little thing that I've found that has really helped me in this regard is having a list of daily tasks. So things that I need to do, that I desire to do in my business on a daily basis. So that might be check in with this Facebook group, check in with this one-on-one client, open Voxer, respond to messages in Voxer, ask my VA to do X, Y, and Z, and obviously having a VA when you're at that point is very, very useful because it takes off all of those administrative and, peripheral tasks that take up a lot of time. Write copy for this program, or, share a storytelling post from this angle, right? Like it might be just a list of, 50 different things. And actually I've been compiling this today because my coach has asked me to do this. So I'll share it with you just as a little, before we get stuck into our session, just so you can see I'm still working on this at the moment, right? So I'm breaking it down into lead generation. marketing. So these are the things, all of the things that I know I need to do in my business, need to, desire to, right? Or could do. Sales, all of the things from a sales perspective, and then service delivery. So these tend to be the 4 major aspects of business. Lead generation. We're going to be talking a lot about this in Light Leaders Ignition. Lead generation, marketing, sales, and service delivery. And so this is important to understand what in each category are my non-negotiables, are my daily tasks. Some of them won't be every day, but some of them will be. Yeah. So having that be really clear in your mind is really important. If that's clear from a logical perspective, then it's going to feel clear in your nervous system. And then that way, if like you've had a really average morning, you can look at your tasks and say you might not have any clients booked in, but you can look at your tasks and you go, I'm going to pick 3 things. What is the 3 top things that I need to do today? And that way you don't have a list from your ass to your elbow and get to the end of the day having only done 3 things and feel like you've not done anything. You can do those 3 things really well and get to the end of the day. Or, you might do those things really well and then it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You've still got another couple of hours, right? From a kind of systems perspective, that can be, so it's a number of, we have to understand, okay, is it a systems gap? Is it a gap in my process? A gap in my understanding of the money-making activities that I need to do in my business? And I know if I invest time in this activity, it's going to bring in leads. It's going to bring in sales. It's going to increase my service delivery capabilities, which is going to increase my client retention, right? Or is it a mindset thing? Is it a sabotage pattern? Often it's a combination of both. So a big systems overhaul combined with a deep dive and clearing into the sabotage patterning is powerful, really powerful. Does that make sense, Donna?
Yeah.
I went off on a tangent there. I didn't expect to go down that tangent today. Hope that was useful though.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, awesome. And overwhelmed, right? Overwhelmed Amelia. I used to work with her all the time. Okay, I'm overwhelmed Amelia, and I've come to tell Tash all of these things. This is what I'm overwhelmed about. Okay, let's get clear on that. What is it? Let's articulate that. Oh, I didn't realize that overwhelmed Amelia was overwhelmed about that thing that happened 2 years ago that Tash thought she'd integrated. Right? So when you give them the opportunity to speak, you'll often find that they share surprising things with you. Okay. So let's delve into the realms of the inner saboteur. Expect this process potentially to evoke some big things for you. I want you to work with what comes up today for the next few days, especially if you feel this to be quite strong. We're going to be kind of opening the lid on the inner saboteur, and that sometimes can mean that it might like to rear its head right out of the box. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily, but just be prepared that might happen. And if that does happen, that's a good thing, because it means that you're getting to know your inner saboteur really well, really intimately. And we all have this archetype, this part within us, and there's many reasons why. So what I want you to do is I want you to think, first of all, about a big goal that you're working on in your life or your business. And we might even vocalize that. So Maya, I'm going to put you on the spot here. What's a big goal that you're working on at the moment in your business or your life? Doesn't have to be business, but it can definitely be.
A big goal.
Yeah. What's your goals that you've set? Any goal you've set for Q1?
Well, I have a basic theatre healing course starting next Friday.
Okay.
And I don't have as many people as I would like.
Okay. So we can think about that, but I almost feel like it needs to be a bigger.
Yes.
So what about your business? Do you have a financial goal for 2022?
I haven't set it. Anything more than what I've been doing would be wonderful. And I guess the problem is I'm a bit scattered. So my focus at the moment is getting more people, getting bums on seats for this course next week.
Yep.
And interestingly, the clients that I've had lately have all been coming through Google.
Ah, interesting.
So I'm focusing on putting all my attention on Facebook and
Interesting.
coming.
Okay. Have you had some SEO established? Is that how they're finding you?
Probably. And then I asked them, what are they putting into Google? One put Reiki, and I'm like, interesting. I don't even do Reiki.
Yeah, right. Well, this might
Apparently
also
came
be
up because I've
Okay.
got it down as that I've done Reiki. I am a Reiki master. I just don't do it anymore. So I thought, oh,
right.
great. Well, I need to leave that in. So it's really interesting what they start searching in Google for, if they
Yeah.
can remember, because they go down the rabbit hole. But as soon as they get to my website, then I've got them. But it's
yeah. Awesome. Awesome. That intel is important.
yeah.
So
I always ask when they come, that's on the sheet that they have to.
Yeah.
Most of
Yeah,
them go, I
great.
don't know. I don't know what I put in because
Yeah.
what it's like when you start Googling.
So what number comes to mind when you think about 2022 and how much money you'd love to be making in 2022?
Well, just on my tax return, which is always a bit of a drama. So I believe that part of the Saboteur I need to work on. So my husband is very keen for me not to be paying tax, and I would love to be paying tax. I've said that for years. You know, that means that I'm actually earning some money rather than spending more or as much as I'm earning. So, you know, 50,000 would be fabulous.
50,000?
Yeah, because I can say 100, and that's so far up here that I would have to do, you know, have to change so much in order to get there.
Let's say 100 for the purpose of this process.
Yeah, okay. I've said that before, and I don't know how much of that is, well, that's never going to happen. So let's not even bother trying.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why looking at your money mindset is so important, because we often will have these like under the surface, like why would I even try? That's impossible. Yeah. Okay, so for the purpose of this, I want you to work with that goal. Okay, and what about you, Lindell?
Okay. Where are we going? Big goal.
Big goal.
My big pie in the sky goal at the moment.
Big, hairy, audacious goal.
Yeah. So I'm working with a financial advisor to self-manage my super. And my big pie in the sky is to purchase a property where I can run my business from. I can have a retail space, but also like a studio space where I can run workshops, classes, meditation, circle, treatment rooms, that sort of thing. So that's my big pie in the sky. And if I if I buy a commercial property, I can then run my business from it. So it's my super's churning over.
And does it have to be a commercial? It couldn't be a residential that you turn into a commercial?
No.
Really?
If it's zoned commercials, like if I buy an old house, say, for example, which is what I'm leaning into, or a church, or I want that energy around it. I don't want a warehouse or a retail space. So if it's zone commercial that I can run a business from, then I can work in the business. Whereas if I invest in a residential property, I can't live in it. None of my family can live in it. It's just an investment that turns over for my super.
Sure. Okay, got it.
That's the sort of information I've given him, and that's where I'm wanting to head. And we're looking at using my super to borrow to extend. So,
you know how much you need to have that be a tangible reality?
Not as yet. I've just sent me all the financial information. I've got to read over all of that. But yeah, I've got quite a substantial amount in my super, and then I should be able to borrow against that. So
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
so. How about from another angle? What would you love to be earning in your business? What amount of money would make you feel really safe, really financially supported?
Yeah. At the moment, the goals that I've got is between 2,000 to 2,500 a week. And when and that's just the retail side of the business. So when I'm working 3 markets a week, I can easily make that. And then anything that comes from that, like a healing or expos or anything else, is just cream on top. So that's, 100, 150,000.
Okay, let's go 150, because 100,000 after tax, after expenses, is actually not a lot.
Yeah.
Donna.
I was going to say 100,000, but what I'm working towards is creating my own signature one-on-one program. I've got a Heal Your Life 2-day workshop that I'm partnering up with someone that's coming up the end of, when's that? It's mid-May. And then a Journey to Self-Love workshop that I'll be doing just after that. And I'm hoping by spring to be launching just like a 5-week module online program.
Yeah, cool. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So what about turnover for 2022?
Well, I was thinking 100, but with doing all these things, it could be more than that.
Yeah.
If I do it well.
What number would make you feel really good, really safe? And feel free to stretch beyond the comfort zone with that answer as well.
I'd say in between 150 and 200. I don't want to say 200 because that seems so far.
Okay.
Earning right now, but
let's say 200 just for the purpose of this exercise.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, beautiful. So everyone, I want you to close down your eyes, please, por favor, and take in a big, beautiful breath, a healing breath. And one more big, deep breath in. And out. And I want you to imagine or visualize a movie screen in your mind. This is the movie screen of your mind. And on that movie, you are standing there, feeling awesome and confident and really, really powerful, empowered. You're standing in a quiet street. And you've just told me exactly what your goal is. And I've made you write it on a sign, a big sign that you're holding above your head. So on this sign, 150,000 for you, Lyndall, 200,000 for you, Donna, 100,000 for you, Maya. And you're saying, as you're holding this sign above your head, I can do it. I deserve it. I really, really want this. It's totally safe for me to make this much money in my business. So just see yourself there, feeling super powerful and confident, holding this sign above your head. Okay, so now a figure appears. There's somebody there who's walking onto the street. And this figure, this person, is your absolute nightmare. And they're looking at you and they are not happy. They're looking at you and they see everything in you that you wish you could hide from the world. It's like they have laser vision. They can see every flaw, every fear, every broken place, and they're about to tell you all about it. So first, I want you to just check in and understand, what does this figure look like? Does it look like a human archetype? If you can see their face, what does their face look like or feel like? Or does this figure take on a different form? And just checking in, what's your emotional state? What's the energy? Bringing light curiosity. I want you to pinpoint the energy and the emotion. Okay, this figure that can see every flaw, every fear, every broken place, everything that you've tried to hide from the world. What are they saying to you? And I'm actually going to ask you all to unmute. So open your eyes quickly, unmute, and then close back down your eyes. And I'm going to take some notes because I want to capture what they say. So when you hear the words or see the words or know the words that they're saying to you, just speak them out loud. And I'm going to write them down. What is this figure saying to you? Just popcorn around. Yep.
You'll never do it. You failed so many times before. Who do you think you are?
Yep. Thank you.
I got you're punching above your weight, which is something I would never say, but there you go.
Yeah, okay. Anyone else want to share?
So mine was a ex-friend of mine that cheated on my partner at the time when I left him. But anyway, she straight away I saw her face, and this is so weird because she's trying to get in on my circle at the moment, and she studied NLP and she's trying to get into the circles I'm going to, and I saw her at the shop. And anyways,
her energy is ready to come back.
Yeah. Oh, she's come back around. I thought I'd done the healing work on it, but obviously there's more.
What was she saying to you?
She said, who do you think you are? I know all about you. You're a fraud. I'm going to tell everyone about you, and no one's going to believe you.
Okay.
And I know she's been stalking my page because she said, oh, you do really good at lives. And I'm like, how's she seeing my lives?
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, powerful. What about you, Lyndall?
You don't deserve it. I want it. We're going to take it from you. There's a few of them.
Okay. Yeah.
My ex-husband, my ex-business partners.
Okay.
You know, we want what you've got. We're going to take it.
Yeah. How did that feel for you? What was the emotion when you tapped into that?
Oh, wanting to shrink away again and protect everything. It's like if I, get too big again, people are going to keep trying to take from me because, they just want to keep sucking from me, taking things from me.
And sorry?
They don't want to do the work. They want...
Yeah, they want to come, just hitch along for the ride.
Yeah, very much like that leech, like just keep sucking. It's like, I'll let you do all the work and then I'll just take it out from under you.
Did that happen in any past businesses?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot there to look at. Park that for now because we're going to circle back around to that next month. Okay, that's going to be very important for you.
Yeah.
How does it feel if you can just all close down your eyes once again and just place yourself back in that movie on that street? Once feeling so powerful and confident, now facing this figure who's saying these things to you. You'll never do it. You always fail. Who do you think you are? You're punching above your weight. You're a fraud and everyone's going to know. You don't deserve it. We want to take it. And just popcorn, vocalize for me, what's the emotion within you? How does that make you feel? Lyndall said, I want to shrink away. Keep going.
Yeah. Angry, really angry.
I just got, I want to shrink away. It's not worth it. And a lot of school stuff came up. It's better to just, that would be my big thing. It's better just to just putter along the way I'm going rather than, stick my head up.
Yep, shrink away for me, and just like that, then creating that whole like fear of being seen again.
Yeah. And that fear of being seen.
It's the fear of being seen and then being criticised.
Yeah.
And all that goes with that.
Judgment.
Yeah. Okay. Taking a big, deep breath and just staying with the sensation. So what you have all identified are the words around the wounding of your power. I'll say that again. These are the words around the wounding of your power. So there's gold in here for you. So whether that is fear of being seen and criticized or judged because of events that happened in the past when I was criticized and judged, whether it's that, or whether it's wanting to just putter along and not really draw too much attention, afraid that if I stick my head up, I'm going to draw all this visibility and what's going to happen as a result? It's not worth it. So I'm just going to putter along safely. Or whether it's fear of getting really successful and having it swiped out from underneath me. Okay, so we can recognize that. Let's do some tapping. However you like to do, if it's one or two. I start with one. So I'm going to say a word and then you guys, actually, I might mute all of you down. Maybe Donna, if you can be my shadow. Okay, there it is.
There it is.
This monster.
This monster.
Screaming at me.
Screaming at me.
Saying you are a fraud.
Saying you are a fraud.
And I'm going to tell everyone.
And I'm going to tell everyone.
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
You are punching above your weight.
You're punching above your weight.
You're never going to do it.
You're never going to do it.
Because you always fail.
Because you always fail.
You don't deserve success.
You don't deserve success.
And that money that you said you want to make in your business.
And that money that you said you want to make in your business.
It ain't going to happen.
It ain't going to happen.
So what's the point of even trying?
What's the point of even trying?
It's better to just putter along safely.
It's better to just putter along safely.
It's not worth sticking your head up.
It's not worth sticking your head up.
It's not worth putting yourself out there.
It's not worth putting yourself out there.
Because I'm going to come after you.
Because I'm going to come after you.
I feel like I just want to shrink away.
I feel like I just want to shrink away.
Protect myself.
Protect myself.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
I don't want to be seen.
I don't want to be seen.
I don't want to be judged.
I don't want to be judged.
This figure, it's screaming and reacting and attacking me.
This figure, it's screaming and reacting and attacking me.
Because I just said I can do it.
Because I just said I can do it.
I deserve it.
I deserve it.
And I want it.
And I want it.
This figure is taking me down.
This figure is taking me down.
Okay, taking a breath, close down the eyes. Pulling up that visual again And I want you to just see, how does this figure look now? Has it shifted? Has it changed? Has it stayed the same? If it's disappeared, invite it back. Let it come back. And Donna, I'm going to ask you, because you're unmuted, how does this figure look now? Just keep your eyes closed in that visual state.
Face a bit distorted, taken a step back and looks a little bit smaller, but then stepped forward again and said, but you know, and was about to reinforce. But I felt a little bit more powerful, like, you know, stuff you. I know I can do this. So there's a bit of a tug of war with power going on right there.
Okay. So you're starting to get that feisty kind of energy rearing up, but this figure, that's taken the form of your old friend, is kind of trying to keep that power balance.
Yeah.
Okay. And Maya and Lyndall, if it's changed for you, just quickly unmute and let me know.
Mine has just shrunk. It doesn't have the same power that it had before.
Interesting.
Not looming over the top of me.
Okay. What about you, Lyndall?
Yes, they're still there, but sort of, you know, shrunk back to the sidelines. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do another round of tapping. Lyndall, I'll get you to be my shadow and I'll mute you down, Donna. Okay. Lyndall, do you know the tapping points? You've done tapping before? Okay, so we've got, I'll just go through them quickly. So at the side of the eyebrow, at kind of just above where the eyes, at the corner of the eyebrow. Yeah. And then at the side of the eye, and then top of the cheekbones, under the nose, top of the chin, collarbone points, bra strap, top of the head. Okay, cool. All righty. So repeating after me. I hate you.
I hate you.
All you've done is hurt me.
All you've done is hurt me.
You've taken my power.
You've taken my power.
I want you to go away.
I want you to go away.
I want you to go away and never come back.
I want you to go away and never come back.
You've tried to take me down.
You've tried to take me down.
You've tried to stop me reaching my goals.
You've tried to stop me reaching my goals.
When all I wanted was to prove to myself that I could.
Was to prove to myself that I could.
All this energy I've put in.
All this energy I've put in.
To building my business.
To building my business.
And putting myself out there.
And putting myself out there.
And being seen.
And being seen.
Trying to be courageous.
Trying to be courageous.
And then you've come along.
And then you've come along.
And you've taken it all down.
And you've taken it all down.
You make me feel like it's not worth it.
You make me feel like it's not worth it.
Like it'd be better to just hide.
Like it'd be better to just hide.
And I start questioning. Why am I doing this?
Why am I doing this?
Why am I putting in all this energy?
Why am I putting in all this energy?
When it just seems to be so hard.
It just seems to be so hard.
I want you to go away.
I want you to go away.
Give me some space.
Give me some space.
And never come back.
And never come back.
Okay, take a breath. Close your eyes and just be with whatever's arising. You might feel some strong emotions. You might feel yourself disconnecting. And if that's the case, I really invite you to lean in. That's where the healing is, the alchemy. And just visualizing again this scene in your mind's eye, or feeling into this scene with the inner saboteur. Has it shrunk down? Is it beginning to look a little bit more sympathetic? And just nod your head if that's the case, if it's started to release that charge as we've vocalized through that tapping. because you are looking at this part within you that is your inner saboteur. And it's taken the form that it has for various reasons. But this is the piece within you that sabotages you, that trips you up when you're just about to experience a success, that keeps you dimming your light for various reasons, that makes you question whether you have what it takes. So I want you to just check in and see, what age is this part within you operating from? And intuitively, I'm going to ask you, Lyndall, what number comes to mind?
35.
Mm-hmm. Donna or Maya, if you wanted to unmute.
Mine's 2. I saw the figure just shrink and just almost melt. Then I started thinking about all the times that this has happened through school, and then it went right back to my mother, trying to get her not to notice me so I wouldn't get into trouble.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was powerful.
Yeah, okay. What about you, Donna? What age?
Mine went back to 9, and then my parents joined the party.
Okay, there you go. What happened?
I don't know what happened age 9. I think it was when we come back to England the second time.
Oh, I see. We don't necessarily need to know what was happening at age 9, okay. But what happened when your parents joined the party? You mean they appeared in your mind's eye?
They don't understand the work I do.
Yeah.
At all. Like they've said many times, you need to get a real job, and are you even qualified to do this work? You know, things like that. And I try to share with them in excitement what I'm working on, and they're just not interested. They're not even listening.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just feel that energy, and then it makes me think, obviously it's affecting me without realizing.
Of course. It's like, and we'll understand this, and I'll park that for now because it's going to come up. Okay. Good to see. Good to notice. Okay. So just closing down your eyes again and just staying with the sensations in your body. So we can see what age it's operating from. Lyndall, it might even be operating from a younger age than 35. That might be a piece of inquiry for you to go down. Okay. This is the part of you that carries all of the pain that you've experienced in your life. And it remembers everything. It's the part of you that carries all the memories and all the evidence of every bit of pain you've experienced. And it carries it for you. In its misguided way, it's actually trying to protect you. And I want you to see if you can notice that. It carries the pain so that you don't have to. And we've got the words of the inner saboteur, which I'll read to you. I suffered the darkest depths of hurt and pain in the past. So now I'm constantly on guard, making sure I'm never blindsided again. So what they say to me, I now say to you first. What they did to me, I now do to you. I take your power before anybody else can. Maybe they hurt me, deeply wronged me. Maybe they never apologized, never admitted it, never cared, never validated what they did and what they took from me. So I swear that I'll always show the scars of what they took, the unfixable holes they made, so it will never be forgotten, so they won't get let off the hook. And I'll endure whatever pain it takes, because this is my mission as the saboteur. So staying in this energy, we can see that your saboteur is on 2 individual missions. The first one to protect you from future pain. So it takes your power before anybody else has an opportunity to. Can you see how that has played out in your life? This is the essence of sabotage, self-sabotage. And the second mission is to get even. So it's like holding out for its day in court. This might be from something that happened decades ago. It's like that part within us that goes, well, if I heal 100%, then the person who wronged me might never know, or might never get, what's the word? They might never get justice. So I'm going to continue to carry this because I'm holding out for my day in court. So they'll sabotage you as a way to get even with your perpetrators from the past, because those perpetrators maybe never validated the hurt that they inflicted. So there's a part of you that needs to look broken. Now, that may resonate with you, that last piece. It may not, but you will know instinctively, intuitively, if that has played out for you. And if you see that, I want you just to do a slight nod of your head. Okay. So look at the inner saboteur again. Did those words feel true? Can you see that your saboteur is operating from this young age? 2, 9. Lyndall, I want you to just assess if there is an earlier incarnation than 35. You don't need to. Is there?
6, 7.
Yeah. This is the shadow aspect of the inner child. And although this child caused you a lot of pain and suffering as the inner saboteur, in its misguided way, it has been trying to protect you. And what it needs now is love, of course. So the events that showed themselves to you in this visualization, this is a calling that there's potentially more work to be done, healing that, like another layer. So the past is no longer keeping your little child, your inner child, in fear and pain. And we need to remember that to the nervous system, if something is a trauma, to the nervous system, it's still happening when it gets triggered. And to the inner child, it actually never stops happening if it's not fully integrated. So your inner child is in a perpetual state of dealing with the ripple effects and the ramifications of these events. So I want you just to check in with this little person. What does it really want for you? What does she really want for you? Because there is a calling in what you've just uncovered. So Maya or Lyndall or Donna, you might want to vocalize with me here. What is the calling that this little person within you is asking you to do?
Mine's saying to be heard, seen and held, and that it's safe to be my true authentic self.
Mm-hmm. To be heard, seen and held. So there's going to be a lot there for you, especially because how your parents showed up and they don't understand what I do. To the little girl, she wants the validation of her parents, right? Especially if you feel, and I know you do, so deeply that this is your soul's work. It's like, wow, my parents don't understand my soul's work, like what I'm here as a soul to do. Wow, that's huge for your inner child. Okay. So this is where she might not necessarily receive that validation from her parents, but she can receive it from you as the reparented parent, right? And if she doesn't feel that safe to be seen, to be heard, to be held, then that creates a big, like every time you're trying to show up in your business and share from the heart, she's inside having a temper tantrum. Get me back in the safe box. Get me back in the safe zone, right? What's on your heart? What's coming up for you?
For me,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of it is their own guilt, and they don't want me. I think they're scared that I am going to reveal things, or it's shining a light. I'm shining a light on their pain. And I feel like it's triggering them, the things that I share online. Yeah. So I need to get them off. I'm trying to work out how to create a second profile, but I'll work that out.
Yeah.
I feel like I need my family off my page.
Yeah. It's probably a really good idea.
Yeah.
I did that, and it was so liberating. Then I could actually write what I wanted to write.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like I'm holding back a lot. I have got rid of old friends, but I do feel their negative energy towards my posts, or they'll call and go, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, you know what I mean? Like just that judgment and criticism. I'm just so. But I do feel like they don't like my work because I feel like it's triggering them.
Their guilt, their shame.
Yeah.
Their fear.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a really powerful calling, to start a personal profile just for family and friends, and have the profile that you use now be for your business.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
Yep. That's really powerful. And that's a really tangible piece of action that you can take that's going to have a direct impact on the energetics that you hold when you show up in your business. Because if you're showing up to deliver like a training or some marketing, and the energetics are like, I want to be out there and I want to share, but I don't at the same time, like people can unconsciously sense that, right? That's really powerful, Donna. Anybody else want to share the calling that they feel from this process?
Well, my little girl just wants to be seen and heard, but an interesting aside, and it came up while I was doing that, I'm doing that Not Your Average singing course with Deb and Lynn. And I was told that I couldn't sing when I was little, told I had to stand there and mime in the choir at school. So it's been fabulous. And so what was coming up was it's safe for me to sing. We have to actually sing a song, which is like,
oh, perfect. Perfect.
So yeah.
It's safe to sing. It's safe for me to sing.
It's safe to her to speak, to to make noise, I suppose.
Yeah, to claim her place. Yeah.
But yeah,
and
that
what
was
came up?
powerful. Thank you.
Well, what came up for you is like, maybe it's safer to just potter along and not really draw any attention. So any big wins, I'm going to, that I'm not going to share that. I don't want to draw any unnecessary attention. Don't want to stick my head up. Don't want to be seen. So that's a beautiful reframe, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's safe for me to be seen. It's safe for me to sing. It's safe for me to make noise.
Yeah.
Even if it's big screeching, like you might be able to hear my little fella out there make.
I was told that I was strident last
Strident.
and I thought, that's interesting. That's not a word that's used very often. And I, of course, internalized it and started to think about it. And I thought I wasn't yelling. I wasn't being loud. I was just stating my opinion, which just happened to be different to everybody else's. So that's classified as being strident.
Well, potentially.
Speaking your truth is
rocking the boat. If your truth isn't in alignment with the truth of the group, it will upset the energetics and upset the apple cart. And some people don't like that.
So it's been a huge learning curve since probably August last year. So I had really clear boundaries with clients and friends, and I knew that I didn't have them with my family. But come August, woof, I put them up, and it's been very, very interesting.
Are you still solid in them?
Yes, I'm still solid, but as soon as I stopped focusing on the negative side of all of that and just focused on what I wanted to happen in the outcome, all of a sudden, out of the blue, my eldest son, who'd given me the biggest blasting, rang up and said he was sending his 2 youngest kids up on a plane to stay with me. I'm like, what?
Oh, wow.
Now we're all going down to Melbourne. So, yeah, I'm not
sure
it's going to work. But anyway.
It's interesting how the energetic, sometimes we don't need to say anything.
And that's what I say to everybody. I stopped focusing on the negative and getting upset and all the rest of it. And I was angry when I deleted them all off Facebook. I thought, stuff you. I won't go into it here, but yeah. So that was interesting.
Yeah. So this calling to be seen, to make noise, to take up space, how can you take that into a tangible action?
Well, the first thing I have to do is sing on a live. That's my first thing, which is a huge challenge.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Okay.
To have gone this long and been told that I can't sing and to reinforce that in my head that I can't sing.
Yeah. And so when you do the singing, it's like I want you to almost intentionally, it's like when you're singing that what's coming through is for you to imagine like every time you speak, you're doing it with this energy of like, I deserve to make noise. I deserve to take up space. My strong, unique point of view is valuable.
I actually really like that. I deserve to take up space.
Yeah.
That brings up other stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So another layer.
Which I won't go into here, but yeah, that's, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll let you know how the singing goes.
Okay. Yes, please do.
And I highly recommend that course. It's just been amazing.
Yeah. I haven't heard of it.
I got into it because I know I don't breathe properly, and that's been, learning how to breathe when you're my age.
Yeah. Great. Most of us don't breathe properly.
No, I know we don't, but I particularly know that I don't. Yeah.
What about you, Lyndall? What's the calling?
The first thing that come up was to be happy and belong. And the next things that sort of dropped in was acceptance and acknowledgement. So I think it's back, you know, to being seen and being valued and, you know, having my gifts, my talents, my creativity acknowledged. And I know that when I do get that, when people do, you know, done a great job, or this is beautiful, I minimize it.
Yeah. Kind of reflect it back.
Yeah. So just it's
you got some wonderful feedback on that post that you put up.
This is the thing. I get, you know, these beautiful acknowledgements, and that then it's like, what else do I need? Because I'm getting that, but what else is it that I'm needing that's not filling that up? Yeah.
I think I have an answer. Could be wrong. But what I'm getting really strongly for you here is that it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks if you don't accept and acknowledge yourself, right? Yep. People can give you all the compliments in the world. If there's a lack of self-acceptance, it will never feel enough.
Yeah.
So maybe your little girl, when she says she wants to belong, she wants to be accepted, she wants to be acknowledged, like a beautiful process that you can do on a daily basis, you know, tenderly, like some quiet breaths, connecting in with her. And, you know, like when I do this kind of work with myself, it's like,
yeah,
you're doing a great job, beautiful girl. I'm so proud of you. Look at you. You're a star. You're doing such a beautiful job. You should be so proud. I'm so proud of you. Oh, well done, sweet pea.
Yeah.
Tender. It brings up a lot of emotion because it's big, right? We never speak to ourselves that way.
No.
Do we?
No.
And when we have a practice like this, or even doing it in the mirror, wow, that's really powerful. Like staying with it, you know, not checking out, holding the sensation, eye contact with yourself in the mirror. You are doing an incredible job. And then witness what comes up and hold the sensation and stay with it and breathe. I'm so proud of you. Look at how far you've come. How do you feel about taking that on this week?
This week? There's a lot going on this week.
There is a lot going on, but it would be a couple of minutes, 5 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 if you wanted to really sit with it.
Yeah.
Give it justice.
Can I just suggest something? Something that I tell my clients to do. I don't know if I've told you this, Lindell. Find a photo of you when you were really little.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Find a photo of you when you were little, like 2 or under.
Yeah.
A photo that you really like. So not a photo that you're going to, you know, look at it and say, oh God, you know, my fringe was crooked or my ears are too big or I can't believe they put me in those clothes. Photocopy it and stick it somewhere where you see it all the time. So that actually reminds you.
Yeah.
And every time you look at it, send love to her. It does change. It makes a huge difference.
Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And then do the other stuff, but you've got something to focus on then.
The visual.
And see yourself when you were little.
Yeah. Especially with the big growths that I know you all, but Lyndall especially, like I've seen the big leaps forward that you've made in the last 6 months, and you're just getting started, right? As we do big up leveling in business, these practices are essential, because if your little girl inside doesn't feel safe on the journey, she becomes your inner saboteur.
Yeah.
As we just saw in that visualization. She will be the one, and she will know intimately the ways in which you can be taken down. You know, she will become the inner saboteur, but really it's just your inner child having a temper tantrum because she doesn't feel safe in the territory that you're taking her into. So it's very, very important, right, to do this inner process work as we ascend in the up-leveling journey. I mean, every up level it's going to bring up stuff, right? But it just means we've got that it's going to bring up a little bit less if we can really self-nurture along the way.
Yeah.
I always say to my people, like, be prepared for the resistance to kick in, because it's pushing right up against safe zone and beyond. You know, every big decision I've made in my business has been accompanied by the faint taste of vomit in my mouth. Right? Because that's what we're being called to do, especially in soulful business, where all of your ascension in your business is directly connected to your soul's journey and your soul's mission. Yeah. Huge, huge. How does that feel, everyone? Do you all feel okay, feel grounded, integrated? Hope that's brought it clear to you, like how this plays out in your life, in your business. Like I said at the beginning, be prepared for stuff to continue to come up. You might want to do some journaling. I'll just throw my pen. You might want to do some journaling. You might want to do some more tapping. If it still comes up in a big way, jump into a Facebook Live in the group program and just be witnessed in that, okay? So you're communicating with us and allowing yourself to speak and be seen. And remember the beautiful self-nurturing photo. It's okay, I've got you. I've got you throughout this whole process. You can just go and play. Big Tash is running the show. You're going to feel safe. We can keep in communication. If you don't feel safe, just let me know so that there's no big sabotage meltdowns. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Have a great week, everyone.
Thank you. Have a great week too.
Yeah. Awesome. Alrighty, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
And Donna, if you wanted to stay back.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll just turn it.
I'll just shut
Sure. I'll just turn